One of the most underestimated forces in the world is kindness. A single act, often small and seemingly insignificant, can alter the course of someone's life in ways we may never fully understand. In a world that can often be harsh, judgmental, and unforgiving, kindness stands as a quiet yet powerful force that has the potential to heal wounds, restore hope, and transform lives. Many people go through life feeling unseen, unheard, or unimportant. They carry burdens they don't share, fight battles no one knows about, and struggle with emotions they hide behind a smile. For some, the weight of life becomes overwhelming, and they wonder if anyone truly cares. In these moments, even the smallest gesture, a kind word, a smile, a listening ear, can be enough to remind them that they matter. Think about the power of encouragement. A teacher who tells a struggling student, "I believe in you," might give them the confidence to push forward when they feel like giving up. A simple compliment to a stranger might lift their spirits on a day when they were feeling invisible. A person who takes the time to listen rather than judge might provide comfort to someone who feels isolated and misunderstood. These moments may seem ordinary, but to the person receiving them, they can be life-changing. There are countless stories of people whose lives were redirected because someone showed them kindness at just the right moment. A homeless man given a meal and a conversation might find the strength to seek help and rebuild his life. A bullied teenager, instead of feeling alone, may hold on because someone stood up for them. A person on the verge of despair might find renewed hope because someone took the time to remind them they are valued. The most incredible thing about kindness is that it doesn't require wealth, status, or extraordinary abilities. It is something every person can give, no matter who they are or what they have. It costs nothing to be kind, yet its impact is priceless. A kind act can set off a chain reaction. One person touched by kindness may go on to show kindness to another, creating a ripple effect that reaches further than we can imagine. Even the smallest actions can have lasting effects. The extra patience you show with a frustrated coworker, the words of encouragement you offer to a struggling friend, the smile you give to a stranger, all of these seemingly minor moments can leave an imprint that lasts a lifetime. Some people may never tell you how much your kindness meant to them, but that doesn't mean it did. In a world where people are often too busy, too distracted, or too self-absorbed to notice the pain of others, choosing to be kind is an act of defiance. It is a declaration that love still exists, that compassion still matters, and that even the smallest moments of goodness can change someone's life forever. At the end of life, people won't remember how much money we had, the titles we held, or the things we owned. The world measures success in wealth, achievements, and status, but none of these truly define a person's worth. When we are gone, the only thing that will truly matter is the love we gave, the lives we touched, and the way we made others feel. Love is the one thing that transcends time. Material possessions fade, buildings crumble, fortunes are spent, but love endures. It leaves an imprint that carries on in the hearts of those we've impacted. A loving parent may pass away, but the values, warmth, and kindness they instilled in their children will continue for generations. A teacher's encouragement may be forgotten in words, but the confidence they gave a student can shape their future. A single act of compassion can create ripples that extend far beyond what we will ever see. People spend their lives chasing things they believe will give them meaning, careers, accomplishments, recognition, but in the end, no one asks how much money you made or how many awards you won. They ask, how did this person make the world a better place? How did they treat others? Did they love deeply? Did they make people feel seen and valued? The legacy of love is the only one that truly lasts. Love is not just spoken, it is demonstrated in the small, everyday moments. It is found in the sacrifices a parent makes for their child, in the kindness of a stranger helping someone in need, in the friend who shows up during life's hardest moments. It is present in forgiveness, in patience, in the willingness to see the best in others, even when they fail. History remembers those who changed the world not because of their wealth or power, but because of the love they showed. Leaders who fought for justice, humanitarians who devoted their lives to serving others, ordinary people who chose kindness over indifference, all left a mark, not because they were the richest or the most famous, but because they chose to love. Love has the power to heal, to restore, to bring hope where there was none. It is the foundation of every meaningful connection, the reason people gather at funerals to share stories, the reason some names are never forgotten. It is not measured in grand gestures alone, but in the consistent, quiet ways we choose to care for one another. The greatest tragedy is not a life without riches or fame, but a life that failed to love. People who prioritize only themselves may accumulate much, but they will leave little behind. Those who choose to love, however, will live on in the memories of those they touched, in the lessons they taught, and the warmth they shared. Love is the only thing that truly remains when everything else is gone. In the end, what truly defines us is not our wealth, achievements, or status, but the love we give and the kindness we show. Every act of compassion, every moment of understanding, and every choice to extend grace leaves an imprint far beyond what we can see. The world teaches us to seek power, to guard our hearts, to measure success and material gain. But real strength is found in kindness, real impact is made through love, and real legacy is built in the lives we touch. When we choose love over resentment, kindness over indifference, and grace over judgment, we become part of something greater than ourselves. We create ripples of goodness that extend beyond our lifetime. Whether through a gentle word, a selfless act, or a simple moment of patience, we have the power to change lives in ways we may never fully realize. Let us not wait for the perfect moment to love, to be kind, or to lift someone up. Every day is an opportunity to leave a legacy, not one measured by what we owned, but by the love we gave. Because in the end, the greatest impact we will ever make is not in what we achieve, but in how we make others feel and how deeply we choose to love. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lesson that life teaches over and over again. People are not always kind. Some will disappoint you, betray you, take advantage of your goodness, and leave you questioning why you ever showed kindness in the first place. It is in these moments we face a choice. Do we withhold kindness, or do we give it freely? Too often, kindness is mistaken for weakness. We live in a world that values power, dominance, and self-preservation. People are taught to look out for themselves first, to be tough, to never let anyone take advantage of them. And because of this, kindness is sometimes seen as something soft, something that makes a person vulnerable. But the truth is, kindness is one of the greatest demonstrations of strength. It is easy to respond to cruelty with more cruelty. It is natural to retaliate when we are wronged, to close our hearts when we have been hurt. But it takes real strength to resist that instinct. It takes courage to remain kind in a world that can be cold. A strong person doesn't allow the world to change their heart. Instead, they remain steadfast in who they are. That is true power. Not being controlled by anger or bitterness, but choosing love and grace despite it all. Think about it. Anyone can raise their voice in anger. Anyone can tear someone down with their words. Anyone can hold a grudge, refuse to forgive, and repay hurt with more hurt. These things do not take strength. They take no effort at all. But to be patient when provoked, to offer a gentle word when faced with hostility, to forgive when you have every right to hold on to resentment, that requires a kind of inner power that not everyone has. History is filled with examples of people who changed the world, not through force or cruelty, but through kindness and grace. The strongest leaders, the most influential figures, were those who responded to hate with love. Their kindness did not mean they were weak. It meant they had a strength greater than those who opposed them. Kindness is not about allowing yourself to be walked on or taken advantage of. It is not about ignoring injustice or letting people mistreat you. Rather, it is about choosing to rise above negativity. It is about refusing to let the actions of others dictate your own character. True strength is found in a heart that chooses to be kind, even when it has every reason not to be. So the next time someone tries to make you feel that kindness is a flaw, remember this: it is far easier to be harsh than to be kind. Strength is not found in how loud you can be or how tough you appear. Strength is found in the ability to be gentle, compassionate, and kind in a world that often isn't. One of the greatest truths about life is that every person you meet is carrying something, some unseen struggle, a hidden wound, a burden that weighs on their heart. Yet, because we cannot see these burdens, we often assume that others are fine. We judge people based on their outward behavior without considering what might be happening beneath the surface. Think about the last time someone was rude to you. Maybe it was a cashier who barely made eye contact, a coworker who snapped at you, or a stranger who cut you off in traffic. It's easy to assume they were just being difficult, inconsiderate, or even mean. But what if they were going through something you knew nothing about? What if that cashier just lost a loved one? What if that coworker is struggling with depression? What if that stranger in traffic is rushing to the hospital to see a sick family member? Life has a way of burdening us all. Some struggles are visible: illness, loss, financial hardship. But many are hidden beneath the surface, locked away behind forced smiles and polite conversations. People are fighting silent battles every day. We never truly know what someone else is carrying. And because of this, kindness should always be our first response. A kind word, a moment of patience, or simply choosing to be understanding can mean more than we realize. It can be the difference between someone feeling alone in their struggle and someone feeling seen, valued, and supported. In a world where people are quick to criticize, quick to judge, and quick to react, what if we chose to be quick to show grace? What if, instead of assuming the worst about others, we assume that maybe, just maybe, they are carrying a weight we don't understand? Compassion does not require us to know someone's story. It does not require us to have all the answers. It only requires that we recognize our shared humanity, that we all experience pain, loss, disappointment, and hardship. And because of this, we should never withhold kindness. So the next time you encounter someone who seems distant, frustrated, or even unkind, remember, everyone carries a hidden burden, and sometimes the smallest act of kindness can lighten that burden in ways you'll never fully know. In today's world, many people treat kindness as a transaction, something given only when it benefits them in return. Too often we hear phrases like, "I'll be nice if they're nice to me," or "Why should I help them? What's in it for me?" This mindset turns kindness into a bargaining tool rather than a reflection of character. But true kindness is not a trade. It is a gift, freely given with no expectation of return. It's easy to be kind when we know it will come back to us. It's easy to help a friend who will help us in return, to be generous to someone who expresses gratitude, or to show love to those who love us back. But real kindness goes beyond this. It extends to those who may never repay us, those who may never even acknowledge our actions. Think about it. When you plant a tree, you may never sit under its shade, but others will. When you show kindness, you may never see the full impact, but that doesn't mean it wasn't worthwhile. True kindness is about giving because it is right, not because it is rewarded. The world teaches self-interest, but kindness teaches love. Society often encourages a self-centered way of thinking. We are told to climb the ladder, to protect our own interests first, to only invest in relationships that benefit us. But genuine kindness challenges this idea. It teaches us that real strength comes not from what we take, but from what we give. History is full of people who made the world better, not because they expected a reward, but because they believed in the power of selfless love. They helped the poor, healed the sick, and stood up for the weak, not for applause, but because it was the right thing to do. Kindness has a way of spreading, even if we never see the results. A single act of kindness, holding the door for someone, giving a compliment, listening when someone needs to talk, can set off a chain reaction. Imagine a stressed out teacher who receives a small act of kindness from a student. That teacher then goes home in a better mood, showing more patience to their family. Their child, feeling loved and encouraged, treats a classmate with kindness the next day. The cycle continues, reaching people who may never even know where it started. This is the beauty of kindness. It moves beyond the moment, beyond the giver, beyond the recipient. It transforms lives, often in ways we never see. The moment kindness becomes a transaction, it loses its power. If we only give when we know we'll receive, are we truly being kind, or are we just making a deal? The purest acts of kindness come from a place of generosity, not expectation. So, be kind not because someone deserves it, not because you'll be praised, and not because you hope for something in return. Be kind because kindness is who you are, because the world needs more people who give without keeping score. Would you like me to add any personal stories or historical examples? It's easy to love those who are kind, patient, and good to us. When someone treats us well, love and kindness come naturally. But what about the people who challenge us? The ones who are rude, difficult, or even cruel? The ones who push us away or make it hard to show them kindness? Loving the unlovable is one of the hardest things we can do, but it is also one of the most powerful. It is a reflection of true strength, a demonstration of grace, and a force that has the potential to transform not only others, but ourselves. The true test of love. Anyone can love those who love them back. It's simple to be kind to a friend, to care for a family member who treats you well, or to show respect to a boss who appreciates you. But the real test of love is when we are faced with someone who doesn't return it. These are not easy things to do, but loving the unlovable is not about how they act. It's about who we choose to be. It's a decision to rise above negativity and offer love even when it isn't deserved. Difficult people don't just become that way overnight. Often they are carrying deep wounds, pain from their past, insecurities they don't know how to express, or struggles they can't talk about. When we choose to love the unlovable, we are offering them something they may desperately need but don't know how to ask for: grace, patience, and understanding. Love can break barriers. Some of the most incredible transformations in history have happened because someone chose to love when it was hardest. Think of people who forgave their enemies, who showed kindness to those who mistreated them, who refused to let hatred define their actions. Love has the power to change people. It can soften hardened hearts. It can heal wounds. It can break cycles of bitterness and pain. Does this mean we allow people to mistreat us? No. Loving the unlovable doesn't mean accepting toxic behavior or letting people walk all over us. But it does mean choosing to respond with grace instead of hatred, with patience instead of retaliation. It means seeing past someone's rough exterior to the hurting person inside. A reflection of who we are. At the end of the day, how we treat others says more about us than it does about them. If we only love those who are easy to love, we are simply doing what comes naturally. But when we extend love to the difficult, the undeserving, the broken, that is where true character is revealed. Loving the unlovable isn't about changing them. It's about choosing to be a light in a world that desperately needs it.